away from home here for the next few days. We're back up in Selkirk, Manitoba, fishing Lake Winnipeg, the Greenbacks. We're just checking into the Knalta Inn here. I usually stay up here, go across the street to Boston Pizza. Pretty good setup. Not that far from where we like to fish. Oh yeah, look at that fish. Yeah, that's a nice walleye. Oh yeah.
Jason Mitchell Outdoors is brought to you by Shields, Vexilar, Clam, K-Drill, Ice Armor by Clam, Crestliner, North Dakota Tourism, Clam Pro Tackle, Bismarck Motor Company, Travel Manitoba, and Jason Mitchell Elite Series Fishing Rods.
Well, we're back up on Lake Winnipeg. Well, it's still one of the best places as far as trying to catch big fish, but basically what it is, I mean, just a abyss out here. We actually got a waypoint. I had some buddies that were up here maybe 3 days ago. We went back to the waypoint where they were a couple days ago, and we just went a quarter of a mile to the east and basically just took that Lake Master map and just found some ins and outs on the contour here and just see if we can get ahead of these fish. But we're all by ourselves. That's a good thing. We'll just see here where the fish are, but just a lot of drilling and a lot of poking around. You just got to move until you find them.
Oh, nice. Feel good? This is a nice fish. Oh yeah. It's 26 inches, but every time one of them big fish come out of the hole like that, it's just like it's a 30-inch fish. Them are just nice fish. And all right, good job. Nice. That's why we're here. Lake Winnipeg walleyes. That's the beginning. We're gonna go get a 30-incher, let's hope. So there's one. Oh.
You know, so when you look at Lake Winnipeg and the lack of structure, you know, what it reminds me of is open water trolling. Like say if you're trolling a basin or trolling out on Lake Erie, where you just have to look at all this water and just break it down into quadrants, you know, where you've got a region, a zone, maybe it's a mile by mile area that seems to be holding fish, you know, and a lot of times, you know, you're making big moves and breaking down that water, eliminating water, seeing which direction these fish are pushing. And then as you start to get warm and you start to mark fish, you start to see fish, you start to catch fish, then you're making smaller moves. It's amazing, you know, you'll get on a pot of fish and for whatever reason, you know, you'll just have one pot of fish. It's just, they're all big. And all around it, you know, fish could be running small, or you'll just have one window where these big fish roll through where you'll be catching, you know, small fish all day. You have a half-hour window where big fish roll through and it makes your entire trip. And so that's the thing, is that a lot of times, you know, your whole trip can be saved by just 1 or 2 bite windows when you catch that fish for a lifetime.
He just got a little bigger.
That's a handful.
Yeah, it's and they don't give up even when they get topside. Definitely a nice fish. I tell you, just keep catching these fish like this. It doesn't get old. I'll let this one go and get a big one. So So the mindset that you want to have when you come to Lake Winnipeg is, drilling lots of holes, moving around. We have our best luck by drilling holes, moving around, spend, probably no more than 15 minutes in a spot if you don't see a fish, and then move on to the next hole. That's what we've been doing today. We start off fishing a spot and, not seeing no fish, and then we make 50-yard moves and even 100-yard moves. These fish, they're just out here roaming around, so just keep moving around until you spot fish on your electronics. You're gonna have better success up here by moving around, drilling lots of holes. Get out of there. Oh yeah. Look at how nice green. See how green that thing is? Whoop, he's trying to go.
It's a very nice fish though.
It's definitely a nice fish.
I think the next move we're going to make is we're just going to go right up along this ice heave and work our way this way. But I've noticed that out here before, you get jagged ice or ice heaves, and a lot of times those fish will seem to concentrate around those. I think the shiners like that change in the ice, and that attracts the walleyes. But yeah, just a matter of drilling holes.
Jason Mitchell Outdoors is brought to you by these industry leaders.
Introducing the Rise Float Suit with motion float technology. Breathable, waterproof, secure, and all the features that make the difference. Waterproof cell phone pocket, rapid drain system, and maximum flexibility. Fish with security in the Rise Float Suit from Ice Armor by Clam. Rise above. Clam Outdoors. Pursue the ice.
A Vexilar is responsible for more fish being caught than any other piece of equipment you could buy.
You know what? Fishing lures and gadgets have come and gone over the last 60 years. But Vexilar's mission statement has been true, helping anglers catch more fish.
Vexilar is the gold standard in sonar performance and reliability in flasher sonar technology.
Your ice fishing adventure begins and ends with a Vexilar by your side.
Happy 60th, Vexilar!
Woohoo! Yeah, what's my favorite series of hubs? The Clam C series shelters work best for us.
Hey, what's our favorite ice sub shelter? The X series from Clam Outdoors.
Choose the hub shelter that's right for you at Clam Outdoors. Pursue the ice.
Lake Winnipeg, one of the largest freshwater lakes in the world. But can you imagine how violent it is out here in November? These big ice heaves. I mean, look at some of this ice is over a foot thick. I can't even tell you how brutal the conditions can be on Lake Winnipeg. I think it's just a matter of, you have a big lake, really cold temperatures, lots of snow, but then you have that hard-packed snow. So you have jagged ice, and your equipment just takes a pounding out here. And so just a couple things: don't run a fish trap without a runner kit. Make sure you put the high-flex runner kits. If you put the high-flex runner kits, these tubs are really, really durable. Make sure that you have a heavy-duty tow bar. Don't put anything in your tub or sled that can break. You might be going out 10 miles or more. And so these are some of the most toughest, most brutal conditions you could imagine on your gear. Oh, I hope this one eats it. This is a big... Oh! Ah! This is a big one. Might not be a walleye. This is a big one. Get that transducer out of the way. It's a big pike, but wow, this is a good fish here. It's acting like a pike, but you never know. Here she comes. Yeah, no.
A good one there, huh?
Yeah.
Ooh, ooh.
Yeah, look at the runs.
Yeah. Oh, there he goes.
But been surprised fish that we thought were pike and bass have been some monster
Yeah,
walleyes.
you never know. That head must be at the bottom.
Ooh, I had her.
Didn't like the looks of that
Yeah,
hole,
they
did
don't
it?
like the hole, do they?
That's a two-handed pike, huh?
Yeah.
Pulling that rod.
Oh, here she comes, here she comes. Oh!
Water start to come up that hole like
Yeah.
that, you know they're started, but he didn't like that.
Here she comes. Yeah, look at that. Oh, wow. That's a
That's a pike.
that's a bonus. Here, I'm gonna dip her in the water. It's really cold out here, so we're gonna dip her in the water. Protect those eyes. Let's get those hooks out quick. Okay. Okay, we're just gonna get her back right away. Oh, you got her. Okay.
Wow.
It's you
Big
gotta be
fish.
really careful with these fish when it's this cold. But there she goes. Waved us goodbye. Fingers are frozen.
Yeah. Good job.
That was a nice bonus here
Good
on Lake
job.
Winnipeg. Huh?
Yeah, definitely. You know, catching these big walleyes, and when you can tag into one of them big
Oh,
pike
yeah.
like that, it's phenomenal. What a battle. Here comes one. Oh yeah, a little bit heavier fish this time. Oh yeah, come on. Down there. Get rid of that. Come on, other. Come. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Look at that. Lake Winnipeg walleye. Man, is that nice. This fish came in right on the bottom, raised my jig up, you know, about a foot, went back down, and then I raised it up 2 feet and just started pounding that Leech Flutter spoon there, and he came up and whacked it. Well, it's definitely a nice fish. So, you know, we started off the day, it was a pretty decent day catching a lot of smaller fish. You know, we caught a couple nicer fish also, but then come around noontime, and you know, that's usually what happens. Noon, it shuts down out here. So what we did is we cooked a little lunch. Not a bad idea to take a midday break and have some lunch. Getting into the evening now, and that's probably my third fish that I've caught in the last hour now. So we're getting into that prime time evening bite, and the fish are starting to go again. So.
You know, so big spoons are kind of the program. Like here's a rattling spoon, here's that Super Leech Flutter spoon, which I've caught so many fish on this that all the hair's gone off. It's pretty chipped up, but these big flutter spoons, that's a peg flutter spoon. That's really effective out here, but it's big water, it's stained water, and so you definitely have to fish so that these fish can find you. Now you have to pinch down the barbs in Manitoba. And a lot of times when you're using salted shiners or minnows, if you're tipping those baits, you know, it's really hard to keep that minnow to stay on your hooks, especially when you're jigging these spoons aggressively. And so these are these little bait tabs. It's just a little piece of rubber that you can put over the top of your minnow. Another thing you do is just take a small piece of rubber band just to put over the top of your minnow. That way it'll just stay on a little bit better when you're jigging aggressively. But just a little tip, you know, as far as fishing with these big spoons, put a little bit of meat on them, work them, pump them pretty aggressively. And you know, these fish, when they come in, they just come in and just smoke it. I mean, it's some of the funnest bites you'll have all winter. Oh, this is a good fish. Oh yeah, this is a good fish. Yeah, what's this? Just at the bottom of the ice here. Whoa. Yeah, this is a big fish.
But you got that spoon on?
Yep, I do.
Get your head started.
Oh, she's hooked sideways. Well, that's still a great fish. There we go. Look at that. Right in the side. Barbless hooks pop out nice, but yeah, that's a nice walleye.
There it is.
Whoa.
Just can't get over the colors on them things.
I know. I know, just look how that green ear descent in the sun. That is just a gorgeous walleye. All right, I'll get her in the water. Look at that, just You know what's so cool about it is it's not just the size of the fish for me, it's how these fish hit it.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had 20-inch fish today that just smoked it. That fish smoked it.
Yeah, you think they're a bit bigger than they actually are. It's just crazy how they fight. It's amazing.
That thump is just unbelievable. It's like a muskie on a figure eight. It just boom.
Yeah, and the size of them fish, they're just crazy thick. Even them 16, 17s.
So yeah, we just came up here just to do-it-yourself trip. You know, Lake Winnipeg, you know, one of the best winter fisheries on the planet if you like to fish for walleyes, but nobody ever said Lake Winnipeg is easy. And so when you come up here, you definitely want to have a wolf pack. You want to have a group of anglers that you can fish with and kind of lean on each other, because I tell you what, the lows are low and the highs are high. You're going to have equipment that breaks down. You're going to have things that go wrong on a lake this big. And so definitely, you know, make sure that you have two of everything is the joke. You know, make sure you have a couple of augers, make sure that you have your GPS on, make sure that your friend has their GPS on, so that way if something happens, you know, you really have to respect this lake, because this lake can also be really brutal as far as just tough conditions. Things that can go wrong in Lake Winnipeg will go wrong. That fish just smacked it. Fish are so aggressive.
Yeah, I got one over here looking. Oh, missed him the first time. And looked like there's 2 or 3 down there. Oh yeah, yeah, gobbled up that super leech Flutter spoon.
You know, you look at Lake Winnipeg and just the lack of structure and the way these fish move. Getting on and staying on fish can take a lot of work. A lot of times, you know, we're drilling holes and maybe giving a spot 10, 15, 20 minutes at the most and just making big moves until we start to get some activity. Then we slow down once we start to mark some fish. But with that being said, the tougher the conditions, the colder the temperatures, the harder it is to do that. And so whenever you can fish outside or fish off your snowmobile, you know, you can just cover so much more water. And that's what we saw up here on this trip, is that, you know, we had to cover a lot of water. We made a lot of moves before we landed on spots, and it seemed like, you know, we'd get on fish and everybody would start feeling pretty good about it. Go out there the next day, fish are already gone, you know, and so every day was just a dogfight, is trying to find these fish and stay on them. But, you know, the beauty of this is that, you know, obviously everybody's looking for that big greenback, that master angler class fish. But in the meantime, you know, you catch 20 to 50 fish a day that are, you know, 16 to 21 inches. You know, if you're anywhere else on the planet, that'd be incredible.
Oh, they're nice. And drag up a little bit. There we go. Oh, nice. This is a nice fish. What we've been waiting for. Oh yeah, look at that fish. Oh, come on, don't come off yet. Oh yeah, that has been tough. Been working all day for this. A lot of holes. Finally moved away from everyone and kind of paid off. Kind of nice. Kind of tough condition. I had to sit at my house. Got sick of the wind. And see how big it is. It's a very nice fish though. A nice 28.5-inch fish. Let's see me.
Nice job.
I know. I'm excited.
Drilling a lot of holes. Definitely cold front came through. Big difference from yesterday. We're out here fishing with no coats on. Today we're all geared up with our summer suits and all bundled up with as much clothes as we can with that wind blowing like that.
And I want to get comfortable. I got sick of dealing with the wind to set up the house and let the line unfreeze a little bit. The sun beating in warmed it up enough, and had I think 1 or 2 for sure come in. and that one bit, and looked like 2 and 1, I don't know, just excited.
You know, invariably, you know, you get on any body of water, you know, you can try to prepare yourself as much as you can. You can watch videos, you can read magazines, you can, you know, get as much intel as possible. But when you get out in the trenches and you're fishing and you're drilling holes and you're not seeing nothing, you know, the biggest thing is just being persistent. You don't have to be the best angler. You don't have to know a lot. You just have to keep fighting. Lake Winnipeg epitomizes that in the sense that you just can't get too down, you can't get too low. It's just another day on Lake Winnipeg, but you just have to keep pounding and fighting. I tell you what, if you put in the time and put in the work on this place, you'll catch some of the biggest walleyes of your life.
Oh yeah. Lake Winnipeg walleye. Oh yeah, a little bit heavier fish this time.
You know, Lake Winnipeg can also be intimidating. Obviously, it's a tremendously huge body of water. And so the biggest thing is just don't get caught up on a memory. You know, a waypoint from last winter, they can mean absolutely nothing. These fish are just wandering out in this abyss. And so you just have to drill a lot of holes and put in the work.
Beautiful day today. Well, it's definitely a nice fish. I want to try to get this baby back as quick as we can.
You know, you can drill a lot of holes and just no signs of life. And when you're using an extension and a 10-inch auger, that'll make a man out of you. But at the same time, you know, you just have to keep pounding away, keep pushing away. And, you know, if you put in the work, you know, you're going to get rewarded. Sooner or later, you're going to get on these fish. There he is.
There's one. Oh,
Nice.
them are just nice fish. Nice.
Oh yeah.
That's why we're here.
That's a nice walleye.
There it is.
Oh yeah, look at that fish.
Just can't get over the colors on them.
You know, so when you get up here, you know, the tough days can be as tough as anywhere. But I think what drives most people is just that opportunity. You know, you have a legit chance at seeing and touching a walleye over 12 pounds. You know, to catch a fish over 8 pounds, that's nothing. You know, people are trying to crack that 11, 12, 13 pound mark. You know, you'll see fish that are over 14 pounds up here. And so it's just a tremendous fishery.
Lake Winnipeg walleyes. Nice. That's why we're here.